ba, ba. Hello, Marianne.
Hello.
What are we doing?
Well, currently we are collectively sitting at the trailhead of the glacial boulder trail to go down a 7-mile hole, and it's yucky out there, so we're like 2% waiting,
Hoping it'll rain bad.
8% trying to build up motivation.
7 Mile Hole is actually a 5-mile trail. It's 7 miles from the lower falls, is why it's called that. I did it last year by myself. This time Marianne and I are doing it. Since Marianne's mom is here, we have a babysitter. It's gonna be our first trip by ourselves since baby was born. Marianne's first time going
having a good time
overnight by herself since baby was born. So it's gonna be fun, I think.
I think it will once I get done crying. But
Yes, after the crying, it'll be fun. We're gonna get down and set our tent up. We had to change sites due to some kind of incident last night at the site we were going to. Apparently not relating to the 7 Mile Hole, but they had to fly somebody out of it. So, is what it is. They moved us to a different site. We'll see how it goes. Hey, setting off. Glacial Boulder Trailhead. Over there is the Glacial Boulder. Looks like 2 other folks are out, although neither of them have backcountry permits on, so. Glacier Boulder Trail starts out in this canyon rim forest. The Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone is ahead of us a short ways. We'll pop out, if I remember right, some really good views of it. I've got these Corker Dark Horse wading boots. This is going to be their first time being used as like a distance hiking boot. I've used them as wading boots pretty regularly. I do. It's got everything Yellowstone has. Thermals, rivers, fish, bears, mosquitoes. All right. 1 mile to the 7 Mile Hole Trail, which is where this one diverts from, going up to Mount Washburn, or going down to 7 Mile Hole. We're going to be going down to 7 Mile Hole. Some graffiti. Hello.
Hello.
The Washburn Range is behind you in the trees. Mosquitoes are out in force as always. We're making our way down. We're not quite to the part of the trail where it starts to drop yet. So, before long, we'll plummet straight down into the canyon. This guy looks angry behind Mount Washburn.
Okay, keep.
So you can see them for sure. The mosquitoes are just awful. They were bad last time I was on this trail, if you remember that video. They're even worse now. And I don't think it's just because there's 2 of us for them to eat this time. The DEET is kind of working, but eh. What I'm more worried about is this, thunder clouds looking up over here above us. I'm not actually concerned about thunder or lightning. We're in a pretty dense forest here, and then we're heading down to a canyon. However, rain can be really annoying. It's also supposed to get down to the 30s tonight, so rain can be pretty uncomfortable if you get soaking wet. The rain turned into just a light drizzle. How are you doing with it?
I'm hot now.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to start downpouring, and I'm fully layered.
It could still. There's heavier rain happening somewhere in this cloud bank, but not here. Luckily we're going down, so I'm getting increasingly less worried about lightning. The trail looks like this, so there's some questions of shale and slipperiness. All right, we have made it to here. The rain is starting to pick up finally. And there's a cone.
I regret not bringing gloves.
It smells distinctively thermally. We're about halfway up the canyon somewhere here. And this is a neat little thermal area that's present. And then we'll cross a thermally creek here. It starts getting more thermally from here as we go. Until there's actually a pretty decent thermal area right around 7 Mile Hole proper.
I think I'm gonna take care of my feet.
Good plan.
Before it gets super wet, and I don't want to get my feet on. It must do some kind of erupting.
Yeah.
It's still an active vent.
There's steam coming out of it. There's hot water coming off of it because that's what all the yellow and everything is. So yeah, and then the cone, at some point it had to have been a geyser. So if it isn't currently. How are you feeling?
My feet feel better.
Good.
I had a few rocks in my shoes, and they were just shifting to the wrong places. As we were kind of at an angle, they got wedged under the arch of my feet and too prone to cause blisters. And we have a lot of up to do in 2 days. So
Yep. Always important to take care of your feet. For my feet, the corkers, they're probably not, I mean, I wouldn't start wearing them regularly as a hiking boot, but as far as a wading boot that you can hike in goes, they're definitely not bad. They're a little bit firmer than a normal hiking boot, and they're significantly heavier than a normal hiking boot. So if you're the kind of person that's fast and light with his hiking boots and everything else, these will probably be pretty unpleasant to you. If you're like me, that's usually wearing pretty heavy leather boots that are already pretty stiff, then these aren't a drastic difference in that regard. But my feet do feel like I've been walking for several miles in heavy boots, heavy stiff boots. We are on the trail for sure, but there's definitely, this trail definitely gets really close to some thermal features.
I am super sweaty now.
Is it because we're standing on 100-degree ground?
Maybe, but also like the wind isn't blowing, it's not raining anymore.
Yeah.
I am in all of my rain gear.
Marianne.
Alex.
We just followed the trail directly through a thermal feature.
Yep.
And we're actually getting really close to the campsite I stayed in last year. Really close in the sense that you have to get down. There's a spur trail that pops off here in a minute. And then it goes like 200 feet straight down. And there's the campsite. But, which means we're actually pretty close to the campsite. I want to say it's less than half a mile. Because it was only half a mile all the way to the fishing part of the hole from the campsite, counting the spur trail. So we have to be fairly close now.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I can eat too. The clouds are actually looking less angry behind us, so it must have been what moved on. We'll see if we continue to get some drizzle though. But the clouds look angrier that way. And I'm guessing that's what we were finding earlier. What a cool place. All right, this is our tent site. There's not designated tent sites in Yellowstone. But this is obviously where everybody has been sleeping.
I'm just gonna dry my...
The only issue with 4 Charlie 2 is that the trail is right here. That being said, that does make it easier for us. We don't have to walk away to get anywhere. There's somebody had written in Sharpie on the trail marker that the food pole's downhill somewhere. So we'll go look for that. Yeah, we're gonna get our tent set up here in this sort of lopsided spot and start probably making some dinner. Probably somewhere slightly away from here. Sulphur Creek is flowing down from the cut over there, looking like something straight out of what's that ride in Disney World with the roller coaster where you like go through some places. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's a Western themed ride. It looks like that here.
I feel like this side is almost more scary because you can see exactly what it is.
Thanks to a recent trip to Idaho Falls, we have Chick-fil-A available, despite being here. What a place. Hey, how are you?
Getting better.
We have eaten dinner. It is, actually I have no idea what time it is, but the sun is on the setting side of things. And you see it hitting the canyon wall over there. Got a nice little campsite, and kind of looking forward to sleeping to the sound of all this water tonight. This was still inside my bag, which is asking a little bit much of the bears to not eat us if we've got that. It's a pretty place. It is morning. We slept pretty well last night. It got down to the 30s, but I wasn't cold. Marion, were you cold? There's some thermal features way up there. Steaming on the canyon walls. The sun's dappling through the trees. It's supposed to get up to almost 80 today, so it's our temperature range, 30 to 80. Have to be ready for it all. My sleeping pad has a leak. Not a very fast one, so it lasts most of the night, but by morning I'm on the ground. And then I forgot my puffy jacket in a very park ranger professional move there. So, luckily it's summer, but still.
And I packed lots of layers, so he's using my sweater.
I'm currently wearing this nice blue Marianne's sweater. They're cold fields right now, but the sun's warming up this grass. It's a couple hundred feet down, maybe not a couple hundred, maybe 100. It's a good stretch down from the campsite to the food pole, and then later down to the river. See? It's a really pleasant and fascinating little environment here. It's a glade on the side of the canyon, just a little low spot, making a little miniature forest here. About a quarter mile behind this, the canyon walls start back up again and go straight vertical several thousand feet. So there's a little shelf we came down in this sort of larger flat area where the creek comes out to the river. And there's bison and elk, some mule deer down here. Probably bears as well. Hello.
Hello.
We're heading down to 7 Mile Hole.
Yeah.
We're in 7 Mile Hole. A hole is a
Heading
geographic
down
term.
to the water, though.
We are going down to the
Which
water.
is steep down there.
It is. And the water's
Hope we don't
fast.
regret leaving our poles up there, at least one of these.
Yeah. We're gonna go grab our stuff and head down. Alright, so we're going down to the water. We're gonna cross Sulphur Creek here in a second. I'm not actually 100% sure how to cross it because it's high. Then we'll be at the Yellowstone River. And we'll walk down right here. First fish of the day, a medium-sized rainbow trout. It's gonna be our midday lunch meal, food, snack. The rainbows have to be killed here. There are no cutthroats on the bottom of his neck, as you can see. So, just for, you know, my friends to notice. But it's very cool to catch some food and eat it in a place like this. The stoneflies are starting to come off, so we'll see what starts happening out here. I mean, that was the second cast and I caught a fish, so. That one is a Yellowstone Cutthroat trout. Beautiful. Another pretty cut.
The initial 5 minutes close,
Yep.
and then stir it again and
Yep.
let it sit another 5 minutes.
I'm just taking some general scenery before this dies.
We should do a commentary on the phone batteries though.
Alright, so he's in a bigger size class than the rest.
Orange in his face.
Yeah. Well, we've come up after a pretty good day fishing down in the 7 Mile Hole section. We've come up to cook dinner, and because it kind of looked like it was about to start raining, but it hasn't yet. So we're going to cook dinner, head back down if it's not raining, see what's going on down there again. Ooh. Marianne, how's your day?
Sunny.
It has been sunny. We've gotten a lot of vitamin D and a little bit of omega-3. We've got lasagna with meat sauce, I assume. I don't know. We've got a jet boil. We've got a little bit of coffee and 465,000 mosquitoes. It's been a great trip so far. I've had a lot of fun. We're about to go into our second night. We're going to try and get up and get out, start hiking out pretty early in the morning. That way we can get home to our baby. I know, I miss him. He's a lot of fun. He's a great guy. But I think doing this kind of thing, we're becoming better parents. He should be here. Next time he will be here. Next trip he'll be on it. That it's really, really important to not end up in the faster part of the water.
I probably won't go past the rocks.
Past like these. We are awake. It is 4:50 in the morning. We are about to start our path up after eating some breakfast. Dawn. How are we doing?
Joints are stiff. My right Achilles tendon is really firing. My left knee has been bothering me for a while. So the uphill is tricky. We did discover this morning that we declared officially my pack is too big. So it's been like trying to crucify my shoulders out of place, but it's really not too bad. It's work. It's work. It's not as bad as I expected.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all uphill, but it's a steady, continuous uphill, but it's not that far.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, and the morning is just incredible. Birds singing, a little bit cool and humid, or
Some
moist.
steam vents, some stream water.
A nice place. Nice place.
An old crafted fountain.
Right?
Not like the earth did that.
See steam coming up behind you. A few different places. Yeah. It's all almost like they just built the trail like right across the roaring mountain.
Except where the one's roaring.
Yeah. Hey, but we're over 1/10 of the way up. So.
Drinking.
I have 100 flights of stairs, Marianne. That's what we're at.
200 more to go.
Ish. We were down there at that level. Not down there specifically, but at that level. And now we're up here at this level. Mount Washburn to the left, 7 Mile Hole to the right. Coming back. Marion, do you want to go up to Mount Washburns real quick?
I want to go see my baby.
Yeah, me too. Agreed. Marianne,
Alex.
have we sort of made it, more or less?
More or less. We're almost there.
Over there is Inspiration Point. And you can see
Vehicles.
automobiles. It's like somebody's camper van right here.
Yeah.
So we've mostly made it. I didn't film a lot because of the battery situation, but we have climbed several thousand feet and are now at the top of the rim. We've got a few blisters, some sore joints, but for the most part, we've survived. I now feel pretty comfortable in saying we have survived the hike. Whatever happens from here is after the hike.